This movie is pretty good. I watched it a lot when I was a kid. I still have the DVD to this day, which is what I watched it on because the main actor who plays Sinbad is Brad Pitt, who is a very, very terrible person. So I don't plan to watch any of his movies till the day he dies, like Fight Club and that one zombie movie, World War Z, or anything like that. And it's still up in the air whether or not I'm going to watch it because I don't like watching movies with bad people in it. But this was a childhood movie that had a place in my heart, and I'm not going to be giving him any money since it's a movie that I've had for 10 plus years on DVD. So yeah, I watched it. Wasn't as good as I remembered. There was a lot of stuff I forgot about. Like I had remembered a lot of it, but there was other stuff I forgot about. Michelle Pfeiffer plays the main villain. This movie did blow up on TikTok like a year or two ago, where everybody was editing the main villain who only had like 3 scenes and didn't have that much screen time. Michelle Pfeiffer does an amazing job. And, honestly, if I wasn't someone that paid attention to people's screen time, like I don't count the minutes or anything, but I always like paying attention to how long a character's in a movie. She didn't do that much, but what she did was amazing. Um, I don't know if it's true, but during the TikTok virality of this movie, people were talking about how Michelle Pfeiffer had a whole team for like a whole animation team for her hair in the movie, which I definitely would believe because that is definitely where a lot of the animation budget went because she looks amazing. Her character model in the movie still looks really good. Um, so let's get to the movie. Sinbad is a pirate that steals stuff, obviously. His newest theft is going to be the Book of Peace that is in this hometown. Little does he know, he runs into his old childhood friend, who is the prince, and he is supposed to defend the Book of Peace. Sinbad's going to steal it anyway, but he decides not to because he notices that fucking the dude has a wife. What? You're not going to steal because your friend has a wife? Okay. Speaking of the wife thing, he is it's an arranged marriage. I did not expect something like that in a kids movie. They don't delve too deeply into it, but yeah, he's like, "Hey, if you don't want to marry me, you don't have to because this is like an arranged marriage." He doesn't say it like that, but he's like, he talks about the fact that neither of them did want to get married. It was just something that was arranged for them. Of course, in typical stereotypical movie, shit, she gets interrupted before she can answer his question and it never gets brought up again. Uh Sinbad and the villain make a deal. She's the god of chaos. There's many, many names they use for her in the movie, but I'm just going to refer to her as the god of chaos. Um, she and Sinbad make a deal. Sinbad backs out of it immediately just because of the whole wife thing, which is so silly. Um, so she decides to frame Sinbad. She frames Sinbad by using like her powers to turn into Sinbad, even though she's got like yellow eyes or something. So you think that would be a giveaway that there's something off here? And she steals the Book of Peace as Sinbad. Problem solved pretty quickly. 15 minutes in, she has the Book of Peace. She could end the world. Uh, but no, she wants to fuck with Sinbad for some reason. They reveal her evil plan near the end of the movie, which I will get to later, and it's just kind of stupid. Um, and I had remembered Sinbad and the princess being love interests, but I did not remember that she had a husband, which makes it kind of a strange thing, but at the same time, I honestly don't hate it just because of the fact that it was an arranged marriage, which I think is what they were going for. Still kind of a shitty thing to do that Sinbad is dating his friend's wife, even if it was an arranged marriage and he didn't exactly, like meet her in public and ask her out and she said yes. Like it's still kind of a shitty thing to do is date your friend's girlfriend. At least in my opinion. So yeah, she sneaks on the boat because she's convinced that Sinbad will just sail away somewhere. instead of helping the prince, because the prince decides that he will sacrifice his life. He says that he will take Sinbad's place. They only give him 10 days to get the book back, even though they talk about how hard it is, how far away it is, and all that. It's very strange that they only give Sinbad 10 days. Especially since it's gonna kill their prince, their would be king, eventually. Very strange that they would only give Sinbad 10 days. Not even 2 weeks, 10 days. Um, so Sinbad doesn't want to go, but he ends up going because she gives him some jewels. Of course, he's a douchebag and locks her up on the ship with his dog's quarters, which is just wow. Um, she ends up having to sail the ships, and probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie where the sirens try to attack all the guys and get them off the ship. So of course, her being a woman, she's not seduced by them. Just let's just pretend lesbians don't exist, but you know, I mean, she is a straight woman, so I guess it makes sense. But at the same time, I'd feel like a supernatural entity, like the sirens, would be able to seduce her. But you know, this scene leads to like the typical stereotype in old movies that I've never cared for, but it's old, so I won't criticize it too much. But there's always something in like old kid shows where, you know, a guy says something sexist and then the girl proves him wrong. It's kind of stupid. I don't like it. Sinbad's like, oh, the boat's no place for a woman, so she proves him wrong. It just makes me not like the main character now. Like, I don't care for Sinbad as much as I would if that line didn't happen. Like, I don't hate him throughout the movie, but I just don't care for him now because of that line. You know, it's one thing to be a thief, it's another thing to be a sexist. Um, they also have this dilemma through the whole movie of whether Sinbad is a thief or a hero, which just doesn't really make sense. I mean, Robin Hood is one of the most famous children's stories ever, and he was a thief and a hero. Why can he only be one in this movie? Um, his buddy, Kale, has a few lines here and there. He's the only other character that's credited in the cast, at least the special features. They only credit 5 people, which kind of sucks, because um, you would expect them to credit all the pirates. There's some other pirates that have this ongoing joke throughout the movie where they're like betting in the background on stuff, like, oh, Sinbad survived, pay up, stuff like that. I think their little gag is funny. Um, Spike is just drooling throughout the entire movie unless it's a serious scene. Then he has no drool in sight. It's just kind of silly. I didn't like it. I don't like drool. It's gross. So, yeah. Was not a fan of that. Even as a kid, still not a fan of it. Um, they go through some more challenges and whatever. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens with some other creatures. I don't want to get too much in it. You know, I'd rather other people watch that. They end up getting to their destination, Tartarus, and they make a flat Earth joke, which I did not expect. The guy says, like, pay up. I knew the Earth was flat. um, which I guess makes sense. It's a pirate movie, and a lot of people did have that, like, you know, it was a genuine fear back then that maybe if you sailed too far, you would just fall off the edge of the Earth. So I liked that little joke. There's also an adult joke twice. One, and they're both delivered by Sinbad, actually. One of them, Sinbad telling about the story at where he had swords pointed everywhere. He's about to say crotch, but he's stopped because his crewmates are talking about pickles and eggs, which, of course, if you use 1 pickle and 2 eggs, it kind of resembles a penis. Then there's another joke where Sinbad tells the princess that if she is getting her leg humped by the dog, it means he likes her. But he doesn't say humped, he says hugged, which I think even little kids would have noticed that joke back then. So I'm surprised they were able to slide that one in. Um, you know, he gets there, he tells her that even if he doesn't get the book, he will die. He will take the prince's place. She calls him a liar and banishes him. He somehow makes it back pretty quickly. We do like a little time skip. We don't watch him sailing back to the place, but he goes back to the place, and he's gonna get executed. But of course, she shows up pissed that she's been proven wrong, and she gives him the Book of the Peace just like that. Her evil plan was revealed that she knew that his friend would know that Sinbad didn't steal the book and that he would offer himself up on the execution, and he would get executed, leaving the place without a king. You have the Book of Peace. You don't have to wait till the prince dies to do anything bad. You can just do bad stuff. It's just a very convoluted way to make an excuse on why she's not being evil right now, which is really stupid. Sinbad and the princess get together at the end of the movie, and they make a reference to places they're going to go. One of them is Cyclops Island, which is a special feature. If you go to the special features, there is an interactive uh, little side story where you can pick what characters and follow their story. Um, Pretty cool for a 2003 movie. Um, so yeah, in this little side movie, I guess I'll talk about that too, since it isn't that long. You get to play as the princess, Spike, uh, and Kale and Rat, or you can be Sinbad, but he is not a choice. Like, he doesn't get a picture because there's like little pictures of him that you press with your remote. But since I watched it on my PlayStation, obviously I used my PlayStation controller. I picked Spike first, and his is very underwhelming. He has a little fight with the Cyclops for a bone, and then the island explodes. You have no idea what's going on if you decide to pick Spike first, which was very confusing. I picked the princess next. She had a pretty decent story. She definitely gets like the most screen time. The story seemed pretty long. Sinbad's story is also decently long. But once again, with Rat and Kale, their story isn't that long, and the island just kind of explodes. Like, you don't know what happened. Um, Overall, it was a decently fun movie, and I still think I really like it. I just wish Brad Pitt didn't play Sinbad.